Want to ask something?
I've killed the drowners.
You showed us mercy, yet I deceived you. I can offer no money, but you cannot leave unrewarded. Take this amulet. It's Kezath, the symbol of mercy.
Will do.
Wonderful. Now we prepare for the coming of the lords.
Who are these lords?
We worship them and receive the grace of those from the eternal deep.
I keep thinking of the fish people, Vodunoi.
How dare you! Those names offend the lords. Return later. The Water Lords are nigh.
Let's discuss a job.
Please help. One of our children is missing. The boy has always returned quickly until now.
Perhaps the water beast ate him.
Blasphemy. The druids must have him to transform into a dryad.
All right, I'll look for the boy.
Enough! I've had enough! There, on the other bank, stands the famous Mage's Tower. None have entered since its builder parted from this world.
Someone misplaced the key?
The tower only opened when the Sephiroth were placed on the pillars of the Tree of Life, and plus the sentry guarded it.
Sephiroth and pillars?
The pillars are positioned throughout the swamp. The doors open when the Sephiroth, runic stones, are united with their corresponding pillars.
Complicated way to open a door.
Indeed, the mage was obsessed, dedicated to his passion. He wanted only those who understood to gain access. Well, I'm not sure what all the Tree of Life business means.
What was this wizard doing?
Investigating the mystery of life, seeking to animate the inanimate. He created golems, including the greatest of them, the Sentry.
What's this sentry?
One of the mage's golems, made of clay, but given the attributes of life. Those wishing to enter the tower must pass the Sentry first.
You're beginning to sound like a mystic. Just the facts, please.
There are few. I know only that the Sentry stands in the golem burial ground near the tower.
You seem to know a lot. Where'd you get this information?
And folk talk, I listen. Sephiroth, pillars and all.
Enough. Let's go. Looks like this tower collapsed on its own. I guess the swamp's not the best place for buildings this big.
Enough! I've had enough!
Odd place. Looks like these giants froze mid-motion. Must have been some time ago.
Enough! I've had enough! Enough! I've had enough!
The obelisk seems ancient. Pity I don't understand these runes.
Enough! I've had enough! Enough! I've had enough!
must have died ages ago.
Enough! I've had enough! 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 I've had enough!
Huge trees, strange symbols, tamed beasts, even a dryad. This must be the Druid's Grove.
Your medallion senses magic. Oh, no wonder it quivered. We're near a place of power.
Tell me about places of power.
Roaming the world, you'll happen upon them occasionally. Ordinary folk won't sense them, but those versed in magic draw energy from places of power.
How can I draw power?
You need to be trained, like sorcerers are, for instance. Druids also have their ways. I'm surprised you ask. Well, certainly you were trained to draw power.
What besides training would I need to absorb power?
Well, you mentioned your medallion, so I presume you're no sorcerer. You employ simple tricks instead of practicing the art, And the medallion should help you.
That's it?
Well, mages, ecologists and druids dispute the nature of places of power. They disagree about energy's renewability, nature's corruption. Some say the power's depleted and must be conserved. Others claim sorcerers have earned the privilege to absorb it and find nature's balance to be a mere catchphrase.
And what's the truth?
Well, who knows? Though in fact sources must regenerate after they're tapped. A day must pass before they can yield power again.
How can I use power?
Sorcerers use it to cast spells, the knowing to strengthen their visions. Wizards and village witches also have uses for it. Well, as for you...
I'm a witcher.
So you are. Then you know the tricks called signs. Places of power increase their strength. Though not real magic, signs have their uses.
Very true.
You may also infuse your medallion with energy at a place of power.
Is that all?
Druids perform healing rituals at places of power, but I doubt they'd teach you.
Interesting. But let's go.
Welcome to the Druid's Grove, traveller.
Greetings.
Marvellous place. I come here when I need to think, and the peacefulness helps clear my mind. Even a witcher is welcome here.
One more word about my accepting my otherness and finding the home I never had, and I'll cry like a baby.
Sarcasm only serves to expose your inhibitions.
Ooh, an elven psychoanalyst.
I spent decades among humans. I find your kind as complicated as the schematics of a flail.
Decades? Live that long among humans, you're bound to become more like them than you ever wanted to be.
Are you speaking from experience, Monster Slayer?
A sharp wit. I'm Geralt.
My name's Yavin.
Let's talk.
Yes.
What can you tell me about your kind? What makes you elves tick?
Let us pray beneath the trees, for the trampled heather, for blood that has been shed, for fate that has been destroyed.
I'm not sure I'm understanding this.
For death inflicted by sword, for the pain of others and our own.
I'm looking for witcher's work.
Then I'll ask you a favor. I need a letter delivered to Vizima, where I'm not welcome. As a witcher, you should find little difficulty tending to monsters on the way and avoiding trouble with the guards at the city gates.
Who's the letter to?
I'd be obliged if you could deliver it to Vivaldi, a dwarf living in town, and then return his reply to me.
I'll do it. I'm going to Vizima anyway.
Thank you.
Gwynblade.
Gwynblade. What's that mean?
White Wolf.
You know me?
Your name precedes you.
You may know more than me. I remember nothing of my past.
Some things are better forgotten. Nevertheless, I do feel sorry for you.
Can you help?
Sadly, no. Perhaps my sisters from Brokilon could help, but they are far away.
Tell me about Brokilon.
Brokilon is the Dryad homeland, a wilderness untouched by humans. Those surrounding Brokilon wish to claim our forests, and thus humans and Dryads fight continuously along the borders.
Who is winning?
Our archers are matchless, but how long can we resist the brute force that rendered humans the world's rulers?
So you agree with the elves and dwarves fighting for independence?
Those children? They have long forgotten the struggle's meaning, craving blood and revenge, having only contempt for humans. They fail to see they begin to resemble the humans themselves. We merely defend our home, Gwynblade, and have no ambition of driving humans into the sea.
Why don't you reach a compromise with the humans?
Ha! You treat concessions as weaknesses and believe acts of goodwill are traps. You will never accept our otherness.
Tell me about your lives.
Brokilon is our home, Ithlin our lady. We live in harmony with the forest, flowing through the thickets and knowing the forest's secrets.
Are you happy?
Like humans, we have joys and sorrows, though our end is near. The war with the humans continues, and our numbers diminish.
What are you doing here?
'Tis a secret. Though I'm taking the chance to visit this grove of old, beautiful trees.
Farewell.
What is it?
Aren't those wyverns?
Wyverns, indeed.
How did you master them?
Tamed them through hard work. I guarantee they're not drugged or their wings clipped. See for yourself.
Any accidents?
Only the fool who tried to brush a wyvern's teeth.
I see.
What is it?
I seek a boy missing from the brickmaker's village.
I've not seen him.
The brickmakers claim you changed children into dryads.
Fools! Only adults are accepted here. Children would only trouble us. As for dryads, ask them yourself.
Farewell.
Gwynblade.
I seek a boy. The brickmakers claim druids seized him to transform him into a dryad.
Only girls can be dryads, no boys here.
Just wanted to make sure.
I would show you where young dryads come from, but
Yes?
I wish to remain faithful to the Brokilon tradition. We only take in men to procreate, and just the strong and agile. We want the girls born of their seed to inherit their father's fortitude.
I've been accused of many things, but lack of physical prowess is not among them.
I believe you. But the ritual requires a man to prove himself a skilled hunter. Bring me a wolf's pelt. You have proved yourself a skilled hunter. Yet one obstacle remains.
What's that?
Witchers are sterile. We dryads don't acknowledge intimacy without procreation.
You were toying with me.
Calm yourself. The mating ritual continues. Won't you try to entice me?
Intimacy without procreation can be good.
How?
Sex relieves stress, improving body and mind.
We dryads must be vigilant and agile to defend our home. And my body demands love.
Would you like to be with me?
Yes, for the day.
Come.
Listen, I've received news that my children in Vizima have fallen sick. I'd like to go back and be with them, but that means I wouldn't make enough for us to survive the winter. So I'd really like to sell some of my old stuff before I go. Interested?
Show me what you have.
Well, nothing special. A piece of red ore, a flask of alcohol and a silver ring I inherited from my father. I can throw in a formula for truly reliable hangover medicine. All this for only 200 orins.
That's too much.
Listen, I'm really in need. What would you say to 150 orins? So it's a deal.
Give my greetings to the children.
You can be sure I will.
God's bless.
Who are you?
Geralt the Witcher, a friend.
And we'll see.
And you?
Yaren. I speak for the lumberjacks.
Can we talk?
Speak.
Are you responsible for the logging?
No, we scare off woodpeckers. Of course we're responsible. We're lumberjacks.
Work for yourselves or someone else?
We're independent, though we secure orders from merchants like Luvarden. We get weeks of work and a decent return.
Don't you fear working in such a dangerous area?
These men need the gold, so they take the risk. You can't have pork if you don't kill the piglet.
Do these trees have special value?
The remains of a primeval forest. Rare species. They make excellent wainscoting.
Get along with the locals?
Nothing but a bunch of deviants. The brickmakers babble about their lords and the underwater world, and the druids don't like the trees being felled.
You the chief lumberjack?
Yes. Without me, these lazy lads wouldn't know when to piss. Him with a moustache. No matter what I do, he still pisses in his boots.
I see you keep a tight rein.
With danger around, you need discipline. I rule with an iron fist, so they can return home safely. Most will.
Any jobs for a witcher?
Despite the danger, the beasts leave us alone.
So nothing?
Perhaps. For someone willing to take a risk.
I'm listening.
But the begatic plant should be blooming in the swamp.
I understand it's valuable.
The drug it makes is. Collect some blossoms and we could both earn a little.
I wade through mud, face danger, then we split the profit?
You don't know what begatip looks like, nor where to sell it.
Okay. Let's play herbalist.
Great. Begatip blossoms look like red orchids. Clumps grow throughout the swamp. Sell them to the ferryman. Ask those living in the swamp if you can't find any.
I'll deliver the flowers to the ferryman as soon as I find them.
Enough! How about enough? Enough! How about enough?
A cave entrance.
Enough! How about enough?
I rarely go near that cave. It's the lair of wild dogs.
Wild dogs in the swamp?
The hounds feed on carrion, though they rarely scorn fresh meat. I heard them howl at night as they hunt in packs.
I had a bad dog experience recently. Think I'll skip visiting the cave.
A tale may change your mind. Local legend claims the tomb of a famous Vran warrior lies in the deepest parts of the cavern. Some say a vast treasure lies with him.
Treasure?
Folks tell the strangest tales, all varying, save for one point.
What's that?
All who sought the treasure vanished.
Who are the Vrans?
Were, for they're nearly extinct. Well, I know little about them, not even where they accumulated treasures.
Let's move on.
I've had enough! Enough! I've had enough!
Three Islands, they call this place. A plant called celandine flourishes here.
You know about herbs?
Well, I'm no herbalist, but I read much in my youth. For example, 2 doses of celandine combined with nasen salts produces a bomb that instills magic fear.
Useful.
Hordes of bloodsweegers inhabit the swamp. If you can get 2 doses of their blood, mix it with abomination lymph and echinopsis spores, you create a potion that druids call Maribor Forest.
Know any other uses for herbs?
Damnable old age. I may remember later. Here we are. Thank you, son.
I'm not your son.
I like you. Visit me sometime. I'll show you my books, serve you some tea, and goulash. You're a witcher, yes? I met another of your kind recently, but he lacked courtesy. He demanded to know about the Circle of Elements.
What about the Circle of Elements?
It's a place of power devoted to the element of soil. The druids watch over it. Speak to them if you wish to know more.
Another witcher? What can you tell me about him?
Well, not much, son. He wandered about asking questions and looking like one with a sour stomach.
I'm not so interested in that.
Yeah, I know. He feared something or someone. Spent most of his time near the pits where those village idiots burrow in clay.
Thanks, Gramps. That helps. Three women. This reminds me of something. There's an altar at the base.
What do you want?
Yaron sends his greetings. I have the herbs.
Finally.
Here, 5 beggartick blossoms, as agreed.
400 orans, and give my best to Yaron.
I'll be sure to.
What is it?
I'm here about the notice.
Finally. Got the hides?
I do. 10 wolf pelts.
Wonderful. The title of Royal Jägermeister will be mine. Else, I'll become a mercenary.
Farewell.
The Water Lords and I.
The druids didn't take your boy. If I find him, I'll see to his safe return.
The boy is gone. A warning to all. We must prepare.
Prepare for what?
The Water Lords and I.
Bandits came inquiring about you. They're sighing a flaming lizard.
The salamanders know I've been to the swamp?
They threatened us. They wanted to know your intentions.
What did you say?
My faith in the Lords is strong, and I said nothing, even under torture. No one in the village spoke a word.
Thank you, friend. The bandits will threaten you no more.
May the Water Lords lead you along straight paths.
Take care.
I like the missing boy. Thank you for searching.
Don't mention it.
The Lords say gratitude leads to the kingdom of the deep. Accept 100 orans as proof of my gratitude.
I accept, and will use it well.
A gift is a blessing from the giver. Take this coin as a blessing from me.
Thank you. Farewell.
Speak.
The ferryman paid me for the herbs.
About time.
Here's your share.
Real pleasure doing business, Witcher.
Likewise, Yaron.
Speak.
Any jobs for a witcher?
Listen, monsters have made the route to Vizima difficult, and those fish people are bothering me.
You want me to clear the road and get rid of the Vodianoi?
Yes. We're low on supplies. Trouble isn't the word for it if you don't get rid of them quickly. I'll pay generously.
Tell me more about these monsters.
Mainly drowners, bloodswagers, echinopsis.
Where do I find the fish people?
Near the brickmaker's village, but only at night.
Shouldn't be a problem.
What was that recipe? A double dose of hellebore and a dash of chopped fool's parsley? Yes, this potion might prove useful.
Why did you give me a potions formula?
You aid the brickmakers. I thought you could use the assistance. It's called the Willow, and will raise your resistance to being stunned and confused. Very useful when you deal with brickmakers.
Thanks.
The water lords are nigh.
The tree fellers grow uneasy about the Vodianoi.
Vodianoi?
The lumberjacks think the water lords threaten them.
The water lords grant mercy to those who recognize the truth of their mission. The woodcutters have naught to fear.
I'll negotiate with them, but I'll need your help.
The woodcutters should lay down their weapons as a sign of peace. Offer their leader's axe unto the water lords. Humble yourself before them. If the lords see no falsity in your heart, they will lift you up, and the woodcutters need fear no more. But first, you must last the night in a sign of humility.
Okay.
The water lords are nigh.
How do I communicate with Vodianoi?
We know little of the lords' language. We communicate through objects we conceal in the altar. We receive answers after a lord has visited.
Where's the altar?
By the oven, between the clay pits.
Why do you worship the fish people?
Speak with reverence about the lords.
Sorry.
We believe the world emerged from the waters which will engulf the world once more. The dry lands birthed all evil. The water lords are divine beings who have retained ancient wisdom, but beneath them lies the one God, the creator of all, the dweller of the deep, the one who will come in anger.
What kind of god is he?
A god above all gods. I cannot speak of him with the uninitiated.
Why do you place items on the altar?
You are not one of us. Contact the lords and acknowledge their power.
Yes, I wish to believe.
You can gain favor by placing plants on the altar as sacrifice.
What else do you leave?
Brews and incense. When placed on the altar, our ill recover miraculously.
What else?
Avoid gifts unpleasing to the lords. All that harms life-giving waters.
I'll be careful.
All trappings of dry land signify resentment.
Farewell.
Speak.
The brickmaker's eldress claims you can negotiate with the Vodianoi.
Negotiate? Are you daft?
It's worth it, if only to avoid revenge for the massacre you're asking for.
What am I supposed to do? Croak like a frog?
Give me your axe. I'll take it as a sign of peace.
You're testing me. But we'll take the chance.
I'll take the axe to the fish people and return with their response.
Speak.
I've cleared the road to the landing. It's safe.
I knew I could count on you. And the fish people?
The Vodianoi accepted your sacrifice and gave an amulet in return. The fish people should leave you alone now.
Your reward, Witcher.
What do you want?
Take me to the other side.
Time is money. Made up your mind? Ready to go?
I wouldn't have paid you otherwise. Take me to town.